Now that our REST API is completed, now we need to create a client side. So we will use the Next.js for client. So let's start. So let's go to the Next.js. Let's install the Nextjs. Go to in the installation process. We're gonna use the npm. So let's create the npm here. So let's put another terminal. So this will be our server terminal. Npm run start. So this will be our server. It is running. Now we need to do it from client. I need to get back to that, and here we'll, so instead of that we will just, so this might be our root directory. Now here we need to just put npm. Let's copy this part instead of my app. Let's give it chatbot client CLI. So this will be the client. So it here TypeScript, no TypeScript, Tailwind CSS, we want Tailwind CSS, our source directory yes, app router yes, and toolbar pack no. So no, keep it no. And now it's taking time for installation. So our installation has been complete. Now let's go to cd chatbot client CLI. So now open that file, that folder. Yep, now we are in that folder. Let's start npm run dep. So we'll start our client server. Just check it out, it's installing. So on the same time let's remove this part. So let's make it this portion and this. Okay, so now let's clear our page.layout page. This let's just clear it, and here just initially put chatbot infinity chatbot, and no message will show, no image, remove image as well. And so in the design file global.design, we doesn't need that. Okay, everything okay. Now let's start. So for chatbot, so as it is we in like client component, we need to use effects, so it will be the client component. Let's do use client CLI and client. So use CLI. And now for initialize, let's for initial message, let's load for initial message. Let's name it message, set messages, and it will be the use state, and it will be, let's say, dummy message. So here sender will be bot, and text will be hi there. Let's give some cool text. Hi there, I am infinity AI, how can I help you? Okay, and now let's design our portion. For that, first remove this part. Let's start with div. First main screen, and here will be w will be full flex, item will be in center, we want in the justify also center, bg gradient to pure from white, blue, so let's use the blue 50, and to indigo, Okay, to indigo, let's keep 100. So indigo 100, padding will be 6. Just save it. We see this is our design change. Now we need to install few things for designing. So we need to first install the framer motion, npmi. We need to install Axios, then install for icon we need to use the blue side React. This is for icon, and also for animation we use the framer motion. Just wait a second, it will install that. So our package is installed. Now we need to do our motion. So motion, let's import the motion from framer. Import motion from framer motion. Yep. So we have successfully imported the motion. Now motion.div. Okay, here let's say initial will be, we want in initial opacity will be 0, and also we want to change it will be 30. So we want to animate based on that. Animate opacity will be 1 and y will be 0. Next transition would be duration. Let's give 0.5. This would be ideal, I guess. Transition will be 0.5. Let's use the class name w full. For large skin, let's give max excel. Height would be always 80 viewport height, and flex column. Rounded will be, let's say, true excel trail. Rounded will be excel. Then we want to that backdrop blur will be true excel. For glass motion design, let's say BG will be white. So we have the 60% opacity we want, and let's give a border also white. Let's give it 30%. Shadow, we need the shadow, and shadow will be 0.8 pixel, 30 pixel, and RGB, let's say 0. If we now save it, we see this box is a cool little box here. Now here in the, this is the header. Let's comment out header portion. Let's just comment out, this will be the header portion. Here I need to show div.px6. Let's show py will be 4. Border, let's say border bottom, and border white, it gives it 40%, and background white, it will be 60. Rounded T, let's keep it excel, and backdrop blur also want to the backdrop blur will be to excel, 1 to 7. Flex, justify will be between 1 to items center. If we now save that, we see nothing happen, but h1 dot, let's use the text to excel. Let's give it infinity AI, and let's use some emoji chat. Let's use this emoji, text to excel. If we just save it, we see that. And let's give font to bold, and also text gray 800. Now it's look pretty cool. Now for this portion we use the span. Let's give class name will be, let's give the text size will be, text will be SM, small size, and text gray, let's give 600. Message will be always here to help. Okay, our message is shown. This our header portion is gone, so this is the header portion. Now we have to write the chat messages here. So for let's comment it chat message. Just use the div. Flex will be 1. Here overflow y auto. Padding left right will be 6. Padding top bottom will be 4. Space y will be 4. Scroll. So let's say scroll bar. Scroll bar. So we don't need that. Now let's map. So this is our message. So initial this option will be show. So these are message. Now message. Now map this message. So let's say message. So we have the message. Let's just give it the name it messages so that it's obvious. Messages dot map. Here we will get a message and the index. Then we just need to give it. Now motion dot dip. Here we will say that class name would be. Let's we need to give it class name dynamically because let's put class name dynamically. Flex. Now if message with dot sender, let's see if we get sender to user. If message dot sender is equal to user, then we would like to use the justify end. Otherwise justify will be start. Justify start. Okay, now we have the animation of portion. For animation, just let's copy this portion, animate initialize. This is our animation portion. Just copy here and paste it. This warning shows because we don't pass key. Let's pass key here. To end this one. So now this warning is gone. So if we check, animated portion is also up fine, but we want opacity will be 10 instead of just 10. So here we need to get delay will be and 0.5 seconds. So now let's show the message part. Text is so in that part we will show the message part. So here it is also dynamic because we want to show the background. So let's give the first max width would be 75% first, then padding will be 4, padding left right 4, padding top bottom 3, text will be small. Let's give the font medium and rounded will be 2XL. Shadow will be small. Now we need to check if message dot sender equal to user. If we check if message dot sender is user, then we will change the background. So the background color would be BG gradient to be from blue 600 to indigo 600. Text will be white, rounded to bottom right none, and if not, then we will show the BG will be white 70. Let's give opacity 70%. text gray will be 800, border white be 30, backdrop blur would be smaller, rounded be none. So now if we will paste our message dot text. So if we see, this is the message we are showing now, initial message. Now we need to show a button for input. Let's put a button for input area. So this is the message section. Now for input part. So in input part, let's give deep p4, padding will be 4 in input part. We want to put a border top, border white 40, bg white 40, so bg white, let's give it 70, backdrop blur, let's give excel, rounded bottom will be 2 excel, flex item center gap will be 3. Now okay, now we will enter the input field. Input will be, input type will be the text. Let's give input text. So input type will be text, value will be input. Let's now initialize the input part. So here we need to install const input comma set input to use state. Okay, so this is the input, would be obviously value will be input. Then no need id now. So here we need to no need id, we will use the class name. So let's use the flex one, bg white, let's give 80% now for input. Border, because border is needed, border white, let's give a 40%. Rounded would be, let's save it, rounded excel, rounded would be excel, padding left right 4, padding top bottom 2, text gray, sorry, let's give text gray 900, let's get text gray 900, and focus outline would be none. So if we now save it, just check whether it's okay, nothing showing, but we get input field. Let's change the color, let's change on focus. We want to show ring 2 and also focus ring blue 400, this will be the 50. Let's check it, now it's showing the blur. And here will be the placeholder. Let's say placeholder would be type your message. Let's check it. Yep, now it's showing now. And we need to use the on change event. We will use two event, on change event. So on change we'll get event. Let's set into the set input dot target dot value. We will set in the input, and now on key, another event is on key down, so we'll want to handle that as well. On key down, if the key is enter, only we want to show is if the key is enter, then then we will call the handle submit. So we need to create a handle submit first. Let's create a handle submit const handle submit. So it will be a async function, and so here just call the handle submit. Okay, so it will call the handle submit function, and another button for send. Let's say the button, let's say button. Here class name first will be the cursor will be pointer, and let's say background busy gradient to right from blue 600 to indigo 600. Text will be white, padding left right 4, padding top bottom 2, rounded excel, shadow will be MD, hover let's opacity will be 90, opacity 90, transition when disable we have option like disable opacity would be less tips. When disable opacity would be let's say 40 disable. Now here we would say on click handle submit. This is our on click function and disable. So we need to check the loading. We need to add the loading step because of const loading set loading use state will be the false. So initially at loading we want to show the disable would be when the loading is 2, then we want to show the disable portion, otherwise not. Now we will need to import icon. We will import the icons. Let's icon is sent from the site React. Let's check it. Size will be, let's give 20. Okay, let's give 18. It will be perfect. So size, this is the size, and now we can direct this. Okay, now we need to handle the handle submit button. So let's start. Or another thing we need to handle it after that is after the chat part. So here we need to check if loading is true, then we only show then we want to show that div dot some message text. Okay, 500. Let's give that the bot is typing this message. Text will be SN. Let's give the italic for design. Animate pulse. And here another thing, so we need to just put it div. So we need to put inside this portion because we want to show after the part. And other thing we need to check for smooth behavior. So if we want to get smooth, so we need to use the const for smoothness int ref. Let's use the int ref is equal to use ref would be initial null. Now we need to check the use effect. It will dependency will be the message. When the message is updated, then it will trigger. So dependency will be message updated. Here we can say in ref dot current view. Now we need to call that in ref, because we need to call that in ref inside that function. So it will be diff ref will be in ref. Okay, now that our all the things is done, now we'll call import the API connection. All the design part is complete. Let's see in the UI. So it is fully responsive. So now handle the API part. So first of all, we will check if no, first check is that any input. So for that we will check that if no input dot trim, we don't want extra white space. So if no input there, so then we will just return from that. We will return. Okay. Then now const, let's say that user message sender be user, text will be input. This will be the user message. Now we need to update set messages. Here we want to update immediately, so we will use the prev. Now here we want to get the previous all the data. Now also import the latest messages we have updated. Now and set input will be cleared. Here set loading will be true. So this is for now. Now we need to call the API catch sense, so that we use the tie catch block. Here we will call the const, we will get const response from, let's use the await Axios, import the Axios dot post. We'll post from the server. Let's our API is that message. We'll copy, just copy the API and import. So import it here. After that we need to pass the payload, and our payload will be text, not input. Now our payload is also passed. Then we will get a response from the API, and that is, let's name it const. We will get these two responses. So we'll get this bot message. Next, okay. Just bot message will be sender. Yes, rename it to bot, and text will be res dot data dot bot message. So now we need to update in the set messages. We need to update the getting. So it will be previous. We want to get all the previous data using spread operator, then the bot message. If any errors show, then let's handle that error, set messages as well. So here if previous, then just handle it. So we want to state the previous state, so the previous all the data. Now for the latest one, we will be the sender with the bot, and text not found any response. Okay, now our catch part also done. After that we will use the finally method. So dot finally, so we will use the finally method. So here in finally, or the set loading will be false. So now if we just format the document, so let's check it. What is Python? Let's just check it. Sorry, don't understand. So let's give it another. What is SQL? Let's keep is taking some. Yep. So our API responses work. So that's it. Please stay with us and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.